Hello and welcome to Dingoes Ate My Podcast, Season 2. This week we're discussing the episode of Angel Hero. I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.
Alrighty. So this episode originally aired November 30th, 1999, attracting a viewership of, let me just pull it up here, 5.42 million viewers. Now, number one movie in America this week, Dave.
Movies in around that year. Mm, Damn, nothing's immediately coming to mind.
Okay, I'll give you the last three, and you tell me, just to give you a little time to think. So, 2 weeks ago, or no, 3 weeks ago was Pokemon the first movie. 2 weeks ago was The World Is Not Enough. Last week was Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2. Hmm. On the one hand, I wouldn't be surprised if it stuck in there with it being Pixar and them at the time. But then again, with that year, there's flashes of some things that came up, but I'm not really sure if it's just old movies that were popular at the time and still stayed, or they were new releases. Mm, nah, I think just to be safe, I'll stick with Toy Story 2 if it's stuck up there.
You are correct. It is still Toy Story 2.
Hmm.
Alrighty. Number one song in America this week is still Smooth by Santana featuring Rob Thomas. It's not going to change anytime soon.
Yeah.
Now, we do get to talk about some video games. Oh boy, do we get to talk about some video games.
No, actually, possibly a fair bit. Because just with last week and coming into this week, there was something kind of on my mind, just like that this part of the year seems really significant for some reason, but I'm not sure if it's the one thing or
Oh,
the other thing.
oh, Dave, we're gonna. Oh, it's significant. Okay, so we're gonna have to go back in time slightly. So the last episode we discussed aired on the 23rd, so we weren't able to talk about this game because it released on the 24th. November
Hmm,
24th, Donkey Kong 64.
I see.
Like I said, significant, and we're not done.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
I'm assuming you played Donkey Kong 64 back in the day, right?
It was pretty much the game that I got for Christmas of that year when we wanted a Nintendo 64.
Okay. Okay. So I had an N64 at this time, but I never owned Donkey Kong 64, but my friend did. So I played it a lot
Mm.
at his place.
It was also kind of one of the ones where we had it, but it wasn't exactly the thing at the time that we really thought was popular. We played it a bit, but being us kids at the time, we didn't exactly know how to progress super far.
Okay. Also, on the same day, if you weren't feeling like Donkey Kong, you could also pick up this little game. I don't know how familiar you are with this franchise, but it's a little franchise called Ultima. This was the ninth game called Ascension.
Okay.
You're not
I'm
familiar with Ultima?
vaguely familiar of Ultima, but not to that sort of extent. I don't think I've even played any of the specific games.
Yeah, I would be a little surprised if you had, because it's like a PC exclusive franchise.
Hmm.
This was the last, I think, mainline one, but they. I don't remember if it was before or after this, but they also did like an MMO. Also in in video games, on the 30th, we got this game called South Park Rally, which I mean, it's a South Park game. In this generation, it's not good.
Yeah, no.
It's
Like, I'm guessing just from the title, it was more of one of the racers, or was it kind of what they were trying to make of South Park at the time?
they tried to make a South Park version of Mario Kart.
No, that's understandable with how popular Mario Kart was.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Um, Now these games are going to come out after this episode airs, but before the next one, so I'm going to include them this week.
Hmm.
There's a game on December 2nd that you might have heard of, a little game called Quake 3 Arena.
Ooh. Okay, with the Quake series.
Yes. Also on December 2nd, The Legend of Dragoon is released in Japan.
Ooh. Um, I supposedly got that right. I am familiar with some of the games on the PS1. Not exactly sure if this is the first one or if it's one of the other particular ones that they released earlier.
I know, I believe
But
it
I
is.
have heard of the series, and it's one of the ones that I have and need to work on actually playing.
This is the PS1 game. I believe it's the first one, but I am
Uh,
by no means an expert.
hmm.
A couple other games that came out. um, so another game I'm not sure if you're going to be familiar with. I'm not, but it's a PlayStation 1 game called Urban Chaos.
Oh, it's ringing somewhat of a bell, but I'm wondering if is it more of a fighting game or kind of more GTA style?
It's according to Wikipedia, it is an action adventure game with large free roaming maps.
Okay.
Uh,
But
I'm,
yeah, I don't think I have too much experience with it.
yeah, it doesn't ring any bells for me either. Also on December 11th, uh, Sony released a little game called Gran Turismo 2,
Ooh.
which this game's real good.
It's Gran Turismo for.
It is real good. I love the Gran Turismo games. Also, there's one other game that comes out before our next episode, and I'm not familiar with it, but it's. I figured I'd bring it up because it is part of like a pretty big franchise. So it is a
Hmm.
game called Planescape Torment.
Hmm.
It's a
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, nothing I'm familiar with either.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but it is set in the D&D universe apparently, so I figured I would mention it.
Yeah.
But just so you know, we are not done for this year. There are still some bangers to come.
Yeah, knowing with this year and the vague memories I have with it, again, most of my experience around this time is with the N64, and around that time, it was all Smash Brothers. Always with the Smash Brothers.
Was Smash out at that time? I thought that game was like 2000. Or am I just insane?
Either that or it was a little bit earlier this year that they released it.
Oh, maybe. Because I was certain that that game was 2000. Nope, it's 99. It was. Oh no, it was early 99. Oh, April in North America. Okay, I was wrong. Alrighty, so let's get into this episode.
Very much the episode.
Okay, I'm gonna try to run through the what happens in this episode. So we start off with Cordelia trying to shoot a commercial for Angel Investigations. Angel is not terribly happy with this idea.
Yeah, no, the name could definitely use a little bit more workshopping.
Because she wants to call him the Dark Avenger, I think. I think that's what it was.
Yes.
Okay. Da, 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 da. Right, where are we? Oh, yes. Okay. So the team encounters I think it's Doyle who's the first one to encounter them. This group of peaceful demons who are trying to um, they're trying to get away to where was it they were going? I want to say it's like somewhere in South America. They're headed to
Somewhere
an
across the ocean.
they were headed for an island near Ecuador.
Ah, yes.
Basically, they're like, "Hey, we don't want to fucking be an issue. We're just gonna go here and have our lives and whatever." There is a group of pure-blooded demons called the Scourge. Now,
Hmm.
have any idea who the Scourge might be based off of?
Maybe a teeny bit. Like, I'm not sure if it's like the baseline. Oh, this is what we're basing off of all the bad sort of evil things, but goes with the typical sort of parallels of Nazism and
Yeah,
any other sort of big particular people that they believe that they're the best and need to take care of anything else that's not to their liking.
yeah, they're demon Nazis.
Yeah.
It's just what they are. One of these demons that they're hunting, Rafe, is skeptical that Angel, who has never heard of the Scourge, it can save them because their prophecy says something about like a chosen one or a promised one or something like that.
Because prophecies say those things.
Well, there are a lot of prophecies in the show. I'm warning you right now. There's a lot of prophecies.
Meh.
We get a flashback to Doyle's past where Lucas, who is a Bracken demon, Doyle is half Bracken, asks him to hide them out while they're in Los Angeles so that they can avoid a similar fate to the demons that we're seeing in the current episode. They're going to be slaughtered by. I don't know if they specifically say it's the Scourge, but I think it's implied that it's the Scourge. They, of
And I
course.
pretty much thought so too, since there wasn't anything that was really described within that. That and Doyle sort of brought up the case of he knew what the Scourge was and how much of an issue that this is.
Yeah, yeah. So Doyle is unwilling to help. When he gets a knock at the door, he has a vision of Lucas and the other Brackens being killed. He of course goes to investigate, finds that they're all dead. This is one the reason he knows what the Scourge is, and one of the reasons that he comes to help Angel early in the series, but like obviously the flashback taking place prior to that. Cordelia drives the truck over to the building, where she basically says like, right, first off, these are demons. Don't we kill demons? And then Doyle's like, well, no, not all demons are evil. They're like peace loving, and they're, we're not here to kill them. They're harmless. Oh yeah, Cordelia gets upset when Doyle tells her that they're gonna put these demons on a ship and send them to Ecuador or near Ecuador. She gets pissed off because this captain owes Angel money and he hasn't paid him. And he's
All
doing
the other particular issues of things.
it's great. Angel goes to talk to the harbor master, arranging for documents about the freighter to say that it's carrying medical waste, because then nobody's gonna inspect that. They're gonna be like, nah, fair enough, get out of here.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So at the freighter, Cordelia figures out some last minute details and prepares to make the confirmation call. Basically, everybody's on board. Doyle has to go find this one kid demon, well, I guess teenager, Rafe, who's run off because he's a fucking teenager and he's being a little bitch.
Yeah, doesn't want to believe in the particular prophecies of things, own thoughts about things are going to come and kill him, concerns of all that sort of stuff. Understandable, but still, stop being an idiot.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so the Scourge arrive at this brick building where the demons, which the half demons have already abandoned. Angel arrives pretending to have taken Doyle hostage. Angel tells the Scourge that he hates his humanity. When Doyle pretends to plead for his life, Angel snaps his neck. We later find out that basically Doyle, when he's in demon form, is like super strong, so it didn't kill him; it just kind of inconvenienced him.
Mm-hmm.
The listeners, who are the demons that they're helping, board the ship, and the captain asks Cordelia about Angel cutting his debt in half. Something Cordelia made up so they could still get money. Because
Yeah.
I will admit, Cordelia is pretty clever here.
Yeah, very much so.
He says that he has to wipe out at least 60% of the debt, which Cordelia's like, fine, you drive a hard bargain, but we'll do 60%. So she's still getting 40% of what. Angel agrees to join the Scourge because half demon, yada yada yada. He's like, no, I don't want to fucking whole deal. Angel has to listen to a member of the Scourge rant about half-breed demons. Well, he's dressed in a totally not Nazi uniform.
Yeah, no.
Then they bring in
No.
this huge like crystal shaped light thing. The commander explains that when the light touches the half breed demons, they'll all die. Then
Like pretty much
he,
any particular person with humanity from what they say. So
yes,
humans, half demons, yeah, pretty much anything that the demon people don't like.
yeah, anybody who's not like a pure blood demon. He
Hmm.
then turns the first mate of the Quintessa, which is the ship that they're going to send these other demons in, is like brought out and is sacrificed because he helped them, and they're like, "Fuck you! You're a human. We hate you." The weapon is called the Beacon, by the way.
Yeah, it's a light thing, so yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. It'll be able to reach up to a quarter mile away. The commander sends the platoon to the ship to destroy the listeners, who are the other demons again.
Yes,
Angel
yes.
intercepts one of the Scourge, knocks it out, and steals his motorcycle because, I mean, he's Batman. Doyle and Reith, the other demon, like the teenager, arrive at the freighter. Cordelia notes that Doyle looks happy. She tells him that she was worried, then slaps him for not telling her that that he was half demon.
Yeah,
Especially
because
after
she
they
heard
agreed
from.
not to keep secrets from each other.
Yeah, he tried earlier in the episode, but got distracted with Vision, which is understandable with things like that. And then again, the rescued demons have to kind of open their mouth, being like, "Oh, yay, being held by a half demon." It's like, "You mean Angel?" It's like, "No, I mean by Doyle." It's like, "Oh,
Yes. He admits that he was afraid that she would reject him, but she points out that she's already rejected him multiple times.
sweetie, it's Cordelia. If you are not rich and are some sort of movie star, you're immediately gonna get rejected."
She added that she works for a vampire and isn't superficial about his lineage, and asks if he would just ask her out to dinner already.
Yeah.
Doyle is obviously happy to hear this, but before he can ask her out, Angel arrives and announces that the freighter needs to leave. Before the ship can leave, the Scourge show up. The freighter heads off, and the head of the Scourge blasts Angel for lying. Angel fights off several of the soldiers, unfortunately falling into the cargo hold with the listeners. He kills the head Scourge just as the beacon gets moved into position. They turn the beacon on. It's going to kill everybody on the ship. Angel's like, well, I'm going to go stop it. And then Doyle's like, no, we can't risk you doing it. He says, the good fight, yeah. You never know until you've been tested. I get that now, referring back to their conversation earlier. He pulls back, hits Angel, knocking him down into the cargo hold. Doyle grabs Cordelia, they kiss, a blue light passing between them. This will be important next time. He morphs into his demon face and says, too bad we'll never know if this is a face you could learn to love. He basically jumps over. We see Doyle start as a demon and slowly like melt away. He becomes human and then like melts his skin away, kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, as he like unplugs the gimmick,
Yes, yes.
which stops it, pulls the plug, saves everyone, but he is disintegrated in the process. And then we come back to the office to see them watching Cordelia and Angel watching the videotaped advertisement that they made, um, where Doyle says to the camera, "Come on over to our offices, and you'll see that there's still heroes in this world. Is that it? Am I done?"
Ugh.
Yes. So this was a super happy, fun episode, wasn't it?
Ugh. No, it is just with start of the series, with the characters as it was, and everything that was sort of built up within this episode. It definitely worked as it was, and that was the emotion of the things. I don't know, just sort of thinking back to the episode with Buffy showing up, there was still that hit of emotion of things, but definitely there was more of the concern between Angel and Buffy again with how long their situation has been with the shows that have run from now. I think it's just with now that with the story developing so far with these couple of episodes, and then just with how the story had to go along, that Doyle had to go down from here. And
Yes.
just the bit of concern that, yeah, it's so sad that we sort of lost it, but again, just with story process of how it sort of goes from there. Mm, it works, but again, it gives you that emotional punch of sadness.
Yes. Okay. So, a couple of fun, uh, well, a couple of fun notes about this. So, we will. Okay. So, Doyle will not be back, but we will see Doyle again. In that, we will see the commercial that they've taped 2 more times, but the actor will not make another appearance.
Uh,
Okay. Now, a couple of other fun little pieces of trivia. There was a guest star in this episode who was, I mean, in his own right, he's had a career, but his brother is quite famous. Any ideas
oh,
who that might be?
no one that I specifically recognized or saw within the cast.
Okay, so if you were paying attention to the credits, and I don't know if the name would jump out to you, but there was an actor in this episode by the name of Sean Gunn. Does that name ring any bells to you?
Not specifically with Gunn, no.
Okay. He is the brother of James Gunn. James Gunn being the director of, I'll name a few of his movies. You'll have heard of at least a few of them.
Hmm.
Okay. So he wrote the 2 live-action Scooby-Doo movies,
Okay.
but he's more famous for writing all 3 of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies
Okay.
and directing them, and also writing and directing the new Suicide Squad film.
The newest one.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you seen that yet?
I don't think the newest one. I believe one of the big enemies is that starfish creature from the comics.
Yes. Yes. Starro.
I've seen trailers for that, but I haven't seen the movie itself.
It's great. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. It's so good. Okay. So, um let's talk about why Doyle is leaving the show. So, do you know why Doyle is leaving?
Uh, Not specifically from what I recall, either hearing about within the show or something that you might have mentioned, but I'm figuring that might have either been the case of why the character was killed off, or most likely a case for it.
Yes. So the character is killed off. Um, so there have been 2 claims about this, and one I find a lot more likely than the other.
Mm.
So one claim was that I think it was Joss Whedon who said the actor knew what he was getting into. It was going to be a short term thing. We were only going to bring him in for part of the season, and then he was going to get killed off.
Mm.
Okay, that doesn't seem completely implausible. However, um, what I tend to believe more of is that um, the actor had struggled with a lot of substance abuse issues.
Uh, so the specific drinking and other particular things that Doyle had on the show wasn't exactly also just little character quirks.
Yeah, no, he apparently had like drug and alcohol issues, and that led to him being fired from the show, which I tend to
Mm.
believe is probably more likely
Okay.
because he would
Again, just
die.
with
He would die not too terribly long after, like a couple of years after this episode aired, of an
mm,
overdose.
okay.
Yes, it's not fun, but
Yeah, no.
it
Again, whether or not there's more specific details onto the things, not sure if it'd be decent enough sort of case to pry, but
Yeah.
somewhat understandable in some of those sorts of cases.
Yes. Now, for international titles, we only have two this week, and they're not great.
Again, it's just hero, so I'm not sure how much you can kind of go off of it.
So in German, it translates to heroes like us, which, okay, that's not bad.
Meh.
And in French, it's heroic sacrifice, which I feel like gives away a little too much.
Yeah, just a teeny bit.
Alrighty, now, Dave, did you have anything else about this episode?
No, I think it's mostly just with at the start of the episode there was Cordelia kind of questioning Angel with his concern for when Buffy came back and all the issues that happened within the episode, and she not knowing when she was discussing with him,
Yes.
and then them at the end of the episodes kind of being on the same page with Doyle sacrificing himself and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think, for the most part, just I guess that little bit of character development with Cordelia, having the oh, need to do a job and sort of thing. It's like, oh man, all the things he could have supposedly done, but this happened. It's definitely interesting, though. Again, with something that you said, I'm intrigued to see how it kind of goes along with it. Because it's
Yes.
something I vaguely catched, but it's nothing I immediately sort of thought about until you brought it up again.
Yeah, so Cordelia is going to go through a bit of a transformation throughout the rest of the season,
Hmm.
to an extent, and it will be fun to watch. So, next week we'll be discussing the episode Parting Gifts. Angel and Cordelia, still reeling from the death of their friend Doyle, have a run in with an old friend, Buffy's former watcher, Wesley Wyndham Price.
Oh.
Except it's not the Wesley that they're used to. This Wesley is Leathercloud and claims to be a rogue demon hunter.
Oh no.
Cordelia also discovers that Doyle has left a gift for her that will force her to make some changes.
Hmm.
Also,
Hmm.
we'll get a guest appearance. We'll get an appearance from some lawyers from Wolfram and Hart, because they're always the good
Uh,
guys.
because of course we do. They're a big player within the show.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Oh, also, just a fun little note for this week, when this episode airs. I figured we'd do a little thing here. We're gonna go through what the top 5 things on television, in terms of viewership, were this week. So at the number one spot was a movie called Tuesday with Maury,
Okay.
with just shy of 22.5 million viewers.
Okay.
In second place, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which came in at 19.21 million.
No, that's understandable.
Number three, I don't know if you even remember this show, a show called Jag,
Oh yeah, with Jack.
18.32 million. Monday Night Football, 18.21. And in fifth
Obviously.
place, 60 Minutes with 18.04 million viewers.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. So we will see how things go in the future. Alrighty, so until next time, I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.